think that after reviewing the LSU game, great job of the players, showing a lot of competitive character, overcoming adversity, playing through a lot of tough situations in the game, playing in a tough atmosphere. Some of the situations that we had to overcome, we created with a bit of our lack of execution, mental errors, which are things that we definitely need to correct so that we can play with more consistency in the future. We got a really good opponent this week, so it's going to be really important that our players sort of put that game behind them, as emotional as it may have been. And as I said afterwards, games like this can either bring out the best in you or the worst in you, and it's all your choice in terms of how you view the future and what you need to do relative to the challenges that the next team presents, which is pretty significant in Texas A&M's case. Texas A&M is obviously a very, very good team. They only have 2 losses, both top 10 teams by 3 and 5 points. They lead one of the leading offensive teams in the country, certainly in our conference. Johnny Manziel is, he is a terrific player, can do a lot of things, creates a lot of plays, extends a lot of plays. He's a great scrambler, a very effective passer. They're in the spread, no huddle, going fast. He does a really good job of executing it. They've got good receivers, they've got good runners, they've got a really good offensive line. Defensively, they're very aggressive, do a lot of stunning, blitzing, trying to load the box on you. But they've done a good job in scoring defense, and they're one of the highest ranked teams in special teams, in the SEC in several different categories. So this is a very, very good team. It's a totally different presentation in terms of what we have to defend and what we have to play against offensively, and it's going to take a lot of good focus and preparation on our part to come out and play a good game. We're looking forward to being at home and playing at Tiger Stadium. Well, if we had somebody that could play that part, we'd play them. We'd be playing. So, Blake Sims probably will try to do it some, at least the running part, the scrambling part, but, we also got to prepare our team to do what we have to do, and so that's the best we can do, probably athletically, at the quarterback position to give us a look at that. Well, he's a very, very good blocker. He's very aggressive. He's very physical. I mean, he's a 275 pound, kind of fire plug kind of guy that's hard to get leverage on. Obviously, on the one pass he caught the flat, we couldn't get him tackled. 2 guys missed the tackle. He ran for about 50 yards, which was a really big play in the game. But I think the guy is probably as good a blocker in his position as anybody in college football. They weren't going no huddle on a Saturday. It's the worst we played all year on defense. So how do you explain that? Maybe we should ask them to go no huddle. Maybe we would play better. I think everybody misinterpreted what I said about no huddle. I don't mind playing against no huddle. I mean, we don't mind that at all. So that wasn't what I said. It's what you all interpreted it to be. I just asked the question, is this what we want the game to become? And that's for you to answer. But that doesn't mean we don't like playing against it. We don't mind playing against it. It is what it is. And our players don't mind playing against it. We played a little better against it than we did when the other team huddled up this past week. It's the worst we played all year on defense, by far. How do you explain that? Can I ask you that question? How would you explain that? I mean, such an insightful question that you asked me. I'm trying to get some insight in what I'm asking you. How do you explain that?
I don't have the answer.
Okay. And you don't have to answer, I do. and run it. And, you know, when he scrambles and makes plays throwing the ball down the field. So he doesn't remind me of maybe those guys who are bigger, more physical, very athletic guys. This guy really doesn't run a lot of quarterback runs. He runs quarterback draws, and he runs when it's a pass, and everybody gets all spread out and scrambles. So, you know, the other guys certainly were capable of doing that, but this is a unique guy in terms of his playmaking ability and his size, quickness, and speed, and ability to make people miss in space. Well, we're trying to get him not to be thinking about that. You know, we're trying to get them to focus on the next play. You know, play every play in the game like it has a history of life of its own, and focus on that, and try to dominate the guy you're playing against, and be a good competitor, and don't worry about outcomes. I think, you know, most fans, media, are really focused on outcomes. I mean, we've been talking about who's going to get in the national championship game since July. You know, so but you got to play every play, you got to play every game, you got to prepare that way. You can't create a bunch of anxiety trying to worry about the result that you get. It's really about how you prepare and how you compete, and how you compete every play in the game. And if there's something that our players did extremely well in this past game, it was just that. You know, they kept playing, they kept competing, and when they got an opportunity, they were able to take advantage of it. Now, our consistency in performance for the other 58 minutes was probably not what we'd like for it to be on a consistent basis, but they did do that. So we try to get them to focus on preparation and what it takes to play well to get the result that you want, rather than worrying about the result that you're trying to get. Cody did a really good job in this game. It's probably as good a game consistency-wise that he's had, and it was really, really important because he did change field position on several occasions, and that's what he's capable of doing. And he's gotten more and more consistent, and certainly couldn't happen at a better time for us in terms of him having an outstanding game. Well, I always kind of look and see what Kent State's score was and kind of follow them week to week, and it's really good to see that they're, having a great year. It means something to me. I mean, it is my alma mater. A lot of people were very